Hello, everyone. It's Steve Garfield from stevegarfield.com, and welcome to another episode of Hello, Millie. And so it's time to bring on my mom, and
Hi,
here she
everyone.
is.
I beat you to it. I'm here.
Good job. So, hello, Millie.
Hi, Steve.
I love you.
I love you too, honey.
Oh, thank you. You look lovely today.
Thank you.
Lipstick, all dressed up.
That's
Actually, yep. I dressed up too. Look at it in the similar shirt. Checks.
Okay. Yeah, I've been wearing solids all this time because my friend Ronnie, unfortunately, she's gone now. But when I was being asked to be on public television, she wrote me notes and she was giving me help and advice on what to wear when you get on camera.
Oh, correct.
To wear solids. A plaid is a distraction. A print is a distraction.
Oh, we both made a mistake then.
Well, sometimes we have to not go with the flow.
I think we look good.
I think so too. I figured today I'm not just going to wear a plain old white blouse. I needed a little pep up.
Me too.
Okay.
I looked at myself and I had a casual, one of these long sleeve kind of t-shirts.
Uh-huh.
And it looked sloppy.
Okay.
They have TV ads on TV, and I would be the subject of the sloppy beforehand, before you bought the new shirt. And I said, this shirt I was wearing didn't look good enough. So I went and got out a nice, plaid shirt that I like.
I almost wore a navy and white check shirt, a blouse.
Oh my.
I was going to wear that, but I said, no, I need more pep.
Okay.
So I wound up, this is one of my favorite peppy shirts. So I'm very comfortable with it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So where does today's question come from?
Oh, that question comes from my favorite book, 23 Questions.
Oh.
It comes from here.
Jan's book. Okay.
Yes. And I found it, and you found it too, because you were looking for me. I was looking for help, and you found it for me. And I said, oh, I've thought about that one, but I never zeroed in on it.
Right. So our question for today, I guess you could go ahead and read it.
All right. What is your favorite time of day? So I saw that, and I thought, And it didn't take me too long. Sometimes these questions can take me a while till I find how I want to respond to the answer. But somehow I didn't linger too long on this one, but it just came to me. And so my answer to my favorite time is 4:00 in the afternoon, on a Sunday especially. And the reason for that is years ago, and I was thinking how many years ago I started my mom's blog. And I think I was in my late 70s at that time. And what would happen, I got into a routine. Sunday afternoon, I had already read the paper. I had made my phone calls. I had straightened up the house. It was a quiet afternoon. I wasn't going anywhere. And I was just beginning to start my weekly My Mom's Blog by Thoroughly Modern Millie. I was just starting to do it every week. And so it worked out. After 4:00, before 4:00, I was already thinking about what am I going to write about today. I always did that before I sat down, but then it just came to me. So most of the time I did it in the afternoon on a Sunday at 4:00, and that became my routine. And I think the people that followed me, they were looking for me on a Sunday afternoon. They knew I was going to post something. So that was that 4:00, how that developed. And then I'm thinking, well, what else can I say? He put it up. He put up My Mom's Blog.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I said, well, then I have to think about another 4 o'clock time favorite. And what I fell into, fortunately, was this. I found this 23 things I wish I had asked my parents.
Right.
And what has been happening with that one is it's not Sunday, but it's Tuesdays. And Steve and I get together for 4:15 and we fix the lighting. We want the lighting to be good so you can really see us and appreciate what we're doing, what we're talking about. And we're doing this video pretty much every Tuesday about 4 o'clock. It just so happens this is years later, and 4 o'clock still works for me. So that's the way my time frame has come to pass. And now I want to ask Steve, what is your favorite time of day?
Oh my.
Yeah, I do have a favorite time of day.
I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
I didn't have to think about this too long at all.
Uh-huh.
My favorite time of day is 6 a.m.
Oh, why? Why?
I wake up and I'm ready to go. I wake up and I'm not sleepy anymore, and I might get a cup of coffee. I will sit down at the computer, and if I have something to write, I will sit down and start writing a review or a blog post about something technical or something. And I think part of the reason why 6 a.m. is good, there's no distractions, nothing else is going on, there's no things to do around the house. And also, like the day or a day or two before, I'll start thinking about the thing I want to write about. And then it will not be at the front of my mind, but it'll be in the back of my mind. And it's just chugging along, and thoughts are processing.
Uh-huh.
And so whatever I want to write about, sometimes it's kind of pre-written, but not in the front of my mind. It's just kind of there. So if it's at 6 a.m. and I wake up, get the cup of coffee, sit down at the computer, and I start to write, it just all comes out.
Okay.
Just write. And then I'm extremely productive. So I could sit down, it could be, I could look up, and then it's like 8 o'clock. And 2 hours of it just go by like nothing.
Okay. That's wonderful. I'm a very much later person than you are. At 4 o'clock, I like that peace and quiet. I'm not going anywhere. No one's calling me on the phone. The house is quiet. And I also like process it in my head, in back of my head, because I don't know, like today, I don't know what I'm going to say next, but it's in there and somehow it comes out. So we're the same in a way.
Yep. That's now. Back, in school and things, I was not a morning person.
Uh-huh.
And I would sleep late, very late, if you remember. Back in school, when I was in high school, I would go to school all day. Then I would go work till like I might have been 9. I got out of school, I think it was 2:30, and the boss would schedule me to be in at 2. And I'd say to the guy's name was Dickie Dolan. I said to him, Dick, how can you schedule me for 2 o'clock and I'm at school till 2:30? He says, get in as soon as you can.
Okay. He handled that well. That was a good answer. He wanted you on the job.
All the time. He wanted me in there all the time. And I loved working. I worked at Zayre, the department store. I would go in there and I could be in there as soon as I got in there, maybe 3 to 9 o'clock. So I had a long day. That's why I was tired in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember in high school, 3 days of week, my first class was a study period. So you would get into school at like 8, and then you would go sit in a room and you could do your homework or whatever for an hour. So a lot of times I missed that. I missed that first class. I was late.
Okay, but you could afford to miss that class.
Yeah.
That was okay. Okay, you talk about school reminds me of another time that I had thought about telling you this, but somehow I put it in the back of my head. But now that you're talking about school, when I was a youngster, a very little youngster, and I started the first grade, then they did not have kindergarten. My first experience with school was the first grade. And I don't remember my mother having to wake me or make me breakfast or anything. What I do remember, and I don't remember the time that I left the house, but I do remember I was the first one at the gate waiting to get in. You did not, when you got there, you didn't go into school. The gate was closed. But then officially the gate opened, and I was usually the first one in line because
Wow.
I was anxious to get in there and go to class and learn.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So that was I can see myself standing there waiting. And the funny thing is, at that time we lived across the street. The Shirtliff School was right across the street from where we lived.
Was that Congress Ave?
Yes, that was.
Okay.
Yeah. And at that time, my father was buying health insurance, life insurance. Some man was going around selling life insurance, and my father did what he shouldn't have done, didn't have to do, but he bought life insurance for me from this man. I mean, that was, you didn't do, he did it anyway. Well, the man was grateful for my father giving him the business. So the guy gave me a briefcase. So I was thrilled with this briefcase. So what I had to do, carry the briefcase to school to across the street. But I was delighted I had a
Wow.
briefcase. Yeah. So those are my memories of time. Yeah. Oh, I also remember a time, I didn't even think of this till just now. I had a friend that later, probably late teenagers, and we would get together, meet at a certain point, get the streetcar, and go into Boston, wherever we wanted to go. And I'm there. We made a date. Let's say we made a date for 4 o'clock. So I showed up before 4, waiting for my friend Shirley to show up so we can take the streetcar into Boston. But Shirley was usually late, and I was waiting for her. And then finally, I said to her one day, "Why are you always so late?" "Well, today I had a rip in my stocking, and I had a change, and that's what made me late." So that was a time experience with Shirley. But I can't remember ever being late for anything. I always planned to be there before time.
Right.
Yep.
As they say, being early is on time and being on time is late.
Oh, I never heard that one.
That's you.
Oh,
That's why I'm like that too. Early is on time.
okay. I always on time or early. Yes. Now I
That's why when we come visit you, I'm always pretty much on time.
right. I look at the clock. If you're not here, you said 1 o'clock. If you're not here at 1 o'clock, I expect you any minute. This last time you came 1:05.
I was not happy about that. We were a little late.
Well,
I thought about it too. I says,
oh,
Carol, what time is it? What time is it? She's
oh
like,
my
it's
goodness.
1:05. I'm like, well, we're not on time.
Well, I'm thinking, well, you're not on time. You can't control the situation. You're going to stop off. You told me you're going to stop off and pick up some lunch for us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You don't know what the situation is going to be when you get to the restaurant. Oh,
That's why I would need to leave earlier.
right. So some things you can't control, but most of the time, A plus for on time.
When I worked in Boston and lived on the North Shore, and there was a snowstorm, if I had, I think I didn't have to be in work early because I didn't like the early hours. I think I told them I would be in later. But anyways, I was the farthest away. And if there was a snowstorm, I'd be the first one in the office. And the reason is I'd wake up super early, shovel out the driveway,
Wow.
drive into town and be there. And people who lived like 3 blocks away would be like, oh, it's so tough getting in.
That's
And,
the way.
you know, they all had excuses. And
Yeah.
that's just bad form on their part. They just didn't care, really.
When I used to go to Brooksby's dinner before all this business here, when the dining room was open all the time, we would have a table. We knew who was going to come to dinner that night. No reservation in advance, but we knew the group. And there was always one lady who always came late, and they would not seat you if your whole party was not there. And so for too long, the three of us were patient, but it came to a time we couldn't take it anymore. We said, what happened to you? Why were you late? Why are you always late? And she always had some loose excuse. Well, one time we were so fed up with her lateness, we told the person who was seating us, we're going to take the table. We're not waiting for our friend. So they seated us at a table for three.
And how many of you were there?
Three of us were there waiting for her, and we were waiting like 15, 20 minutes. That's too much to be late, too long to be late.
Right. So what happened?
So we sat down without her, and they started to serve us. And once they serve you, if the rest of your party comes late, they're strict. They will not serve that late person like to catch up with you. So when she came and she saw us and came over to the table and wanted to sit with us, they didn't allow it. So she persisted. She says, this is who I came. This is where I want to sit. I want to be with these people. And they said, they already placed their order. We're sorry. We cannot seat you here. She persisted. And finally she said, well, I'll join them. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to join them for dessert. So they let her do that because she wasn't getting the entree, so she could have the dessert with us. And then she was angry with us because we did not wait for her. As Daddy would say, he did not wait for her.
So did she stay with you guys much longer?
Yes, she's still with us.
Is she late?
No, she's not late now because she has an aide, and the aide handles her. And well, we haven't gone to dinner with her all this time.
Right.
But I have confidence that the aide gets her where she has to be on time. She can't handle it herself to manage, but the aide is in charge of her.
Yeah.
So if we had dinner with her, I think I'm 100%. I would say 100% she's going to be on time.
Right.
Yeah.
So for those who are watching, my mom's at a retirement community, and what percentage of people are vaccinated, fully vaccinated now?
94%. Pretty much everyone.
That's fantastic.
And nothing. The only thing that has happened that I know of is some of the help has been out for a period of time. And I think once along the way, maybe there was one or two residents in a complex that has close to 1,800 people. So we've done very well.
And you went to the dining room once, and you're planning on going again when next?
Thursday. This Thursday with two ladies this time.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. When I went the other night was unusual. It was very, very quiet. A lot of empty tables. And the service was the same as usual. When they are, and it's a funny thing, But when they offer you a salad, soup, entree, dessert, the whole works. So this time the menu was the same with all those things. And what used to happen when you ordered the soup and the salad, they brought you the salad first. Then they brought you the soup. So the soup sat there getting cold while you're eating the salad. So what I used to do was I just moved the plates around and told them I wanted a hot soup. So my friend and I felt the same way. And so we both had them take the soup back and heat it up. What good is soup if it's not hot? So
not good unless it's borscht.
Unless it's what?
Borscht.
Oh, borscht. Yeah, if it's meant to be cold, okay. But these were hot soups. And to this day, that's how they serve it.
Actually, I just saw a movie the other day and they had hot borscht. Did you ever have that?
Really?
But it's a thing?
Yeah, I only really remember cold borscht with sour cream.
Right.
That was good. And spinach borscht, spinach maybe was a hot soup. But I don't remember. I remember mostly cold borscht. Yep. Which was and if they serve a cold soup, okay, that's fine if it sits there and waits till I have the salad. But when the soup is waiting for me, getting cold, I'm not happy.
Right.
My friend and I looked at each other and we said, we don't want to bother them, but we want what we want.
Right. Well, another reason that I have my nice dress shirt on is we are going to a friend's house for a post-Easter leftovers dinner.
Oh.
Yep. So
that's nice. Who's having you for a leftover?
Our neighbors.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That's nice.
And that's happening shortly, really.
Okay.
Yep. So I think we will wrap it up.
Okay.
It was nice seeing you. Nice chatting.
Same here.
We'll see you again next time, same channel.
All right.
Okay.
Looking forward.
Bye.
Bye-bye.